I think that ultimately, the bigger the hip hop got, and the more people that are involved in it, once social media took a hold, you couldn't create this mirage, this image that you're this super gangster, that you're this like made man or whatever else. You're just a regular dude who happens to be a poet, right? Because really, rappers are really poets. Let's just keep it 100. Am I right?
Yeah,
rappers are really poets.
But that's not how it started, though.
What do you mean?
It started where it's in the streets.
I get it, but it's people that can put words together.
Yeah, but
that's the skill.
But the people in the streets who put words together.
Right, but the original rappers weren't gangsters.
It's like the Sugar Hill Gang and shit like that?
Sugar Hill Gang were not gangsters.
No. But
Busy B was not a gangster. Melly Mel wasn't a gangster. He could beat people up, but he wasn't out there doing crime.
Once you get to the 80s.
You know, I mean, what's his name? Africa Bambaataa was part of a gang. Like, he was kind of a gangster, like the whole Zulu Nation. But then he ended up being gay. So, there's that.
Yeah.
He was a gay gangster, I guess. Like, so you got that weird shit around him.
But like, first the 80s and the 90s coming, like, say the late 80s and the 90s come along, like, most people that was rapping was like...
LL Cool J was not a gangster.
He was like, he wasn't a gangster.
Nah, not at all.
I'm talking about still his street person, though. You still, even though he talk about girls, you still seen him as like a street person. You really
Run DMC were not gangsters.
And listen, I'm saying, but he was more
Beastie Boys weren't gangsters. Salt and Pepper or Big Daddy Kane was not a gangster. Saying, Public Enemy was not a gangster. Ice-T was a gangster.
Let me tell you the difference, though.
Eric B. and Rakim, I mean,
they kind of
played around with it.
You name LL, you name Big Daddy Kane, right? What they got in common? They love girls.
Right.
No gay shit at all.
Right.
They the opposite. Big Daddy Kane and LL is the opposite of gay.
Right.
Like that's what they known for. Like what I'm saying. So like, or if you're not a gangster, you like girls a lot. So mix a lot, girls a lot. It wasn't no funny business at all in rap at all. It wasn't no fun.
No, look, I mean, NWA some of them were gangsters. Eazy-E was a gangster. Yeah, Ice Cube not so much.
But I'm saying even if he wasn't gangster, it was either a gangster or he was like that rap like De La Soul.
Yeah.
And Pro Righteous Teacher. And then you had the gangster rap. So gangster, girls, and like enlightened rap. That's it. It wasn't no...
Right. But what I'm saying is, when you look at all the lists of the early rappers, there's only a few gangsters here. And I think Just Ice was a gangster. I mean, look, from Philly, you got, the CEB dudes.
Yeah.
Counting on his bank. It was Steady B.
Steady B. Cool C. It was
Cool C.
ESTB had
the other dude, those dudes ended up robbing a bank.
Yeah.
And they're doing life in prison.
Yeah, it's still in jail now.
But they weren't really gangsters when they were rapping like that. I don't know if that kind of ended up later on when they ran out of money.
They songs was more about like, like girls and get money and but they was gangsters in real life, obviously.
Right. Later, there you go. They robbed a bank and killed a cop.
But what I'm saying is that as far as all that stuff is in the streets, though, as far as, when I say streets, I mean, like, you don't got to be a gangster, but you wasn't doing no, like, you had to be heterosexual. You can't wear no fingernails. You couldn't wear no colorful hair. You couldn't do none of that.
Look, all I'm saying is, okay, look, the point I'm making, yes, there were a couple of dudes, there were a couple of street dudes, whatever, but in general, these were artists. These were creative people. They were poets. They like to put words together. They like to sit in the studio and create songs and be creative and try to do something that other people haven't done. I remember my first interview ever. I remember when me and Special Ed sat down. Like, he was the first rapper that I interviewed. I was like, hey, how come you didn't have any features on your first album? Like, it wasn't about that. It was about you. Like, you had to show your skill and your creativity and everything else like that.
It was always like that. Like, there weren't really many collaborations between other artists at that time. Everyone was almost selfish and wanted to prove a point and show that they were the best.
So you have these regular dudes that, they were in the streets, they come from certain neighborhoods, but they weren't gangsters. They weren't out doing crimes or whatever else. And a lot of these guys, because they were in certain environments, they would get caught up in stuff and they would cooperate because that's what most people do. Most people, when put in a certain situation, hey, go to jail or cooperate. Most people at some point cooperate. So now you're starting to see what really has been happening the whole time.
You got to according to where you from too, though. Like, if you was in Philly back in the 80s and the 70s and like that, you can't be telling.
Yeah, but in the 90s? 2000s?
2000s, you could probably tell more. The further back you go, like, the less you would probably be telling. Now it's like, it's a lot of safety precautions in prisons. There's a lot of but still, it's not how it is now. Like, today, anything goes. Like, they got people that rapping songs, talking gangster shit, got thongs on. They fingernails polished. Pocketbooks. No, mind you, I don't care. I'm just saying, for as you from a different area, you look at it, like, I would never want to hear you talk no gangster shit you got a dress on. Ever. I don't want to hear none of that shit.
Young Thug was talking gangster shit with a dress on.
Yeah, no, I understand. I like Young Thug as far as his songs. It grew on me after I got out of prison. But you can't do that in Philly. You could do that from Philly, but you can't be in Philly like that.
Man, look, we're in New York right now, right?
Yeah.
Look at all the gangster rappers that are locked up right now in New York. K-Flock.
But you gotta remember this too, though.
Chef G, Dougie B, 5EO Foreign. I can keep going.
But look at New York. Look at y'all laws out here. Y'all don't play no games out here, especially with no burners.
No.
If I was in New York, I probably wouldn't even carry a gun if I was living in New York, man. This shit is so crazy in New York. Like,
no, look, we were talking about this yesterday because Bobby Shmurda was here. Like, K-Flock got into an altercation with a dude. The dude was actually following him. The guy had a gun on him. I guess was reaching for the gun. K-Flock pulled out first, killed him. In Florida, he would have been left free and they would have given him his gun back.
Stand your ground.
But now, yeah, because you got to stand your ground. I interviewed Lil Tim, who killed King Von. Free to go. Ultimately, stand your ground. Georgia, stand your ground. But in New York,
yeah, it wouldn't happen like that.
K-Flock is facing 10 years to life right now, depending on how the judge goes. My man Taxstone, if he was in Florida, he would have been let free. By the way, did you see the video, the fake video of Troy Ave, the shooting video?
That's fake?
It's fake.
Why? What made him do that? To try to get his name back?
Because he's a bozo, that's why.
Yeah, I've never really liked
bozo.
I'm just why I ain't like him.
Like, listen, your bodyguard got killed. The dude who's supposed to be your man, the dude who's protecting you, got killed over you pressing somebody. Like, that was your beef with Taxstone. Tax wasn't, messing with the bodyguard. He was messing with Troy. And because Troy told his man to go attack Taxstone, and Tax wasn't going to take that, pulled out and killed him.
Yeah.
He lost his life.
How much time he got?
Who?
Taxstone. 35
years.
I did this podcast right before he went locked up too.
Yeah, I was hanging out with him right before he got locked up.
Yeah, I fucked with Taxstone.
Like that was my friend. Like
he was on my show
all the time.
He'd been popping right now.
He'd be huge. Meek Mill even had to go do an interview with him after he talked mad shit about Meek Mill because he knew how important Taxstone was.
Yeah, I did Taxstone.
Yeah. So it's just like, it's.
But my thing is, how did they find out that
you're playing around with a lot of really ugly shit. Like you got shot, your man got killed, your man's family hates you with a passion. You were not at that funeral. Someone's doing 35 years and you make a trolling video of shooting at someone.
But how did they find out it was fake?
Because it was investigated. There was no gunshots. There was no nothing.
They in the Bentley truck.
There were no bullet holes anywhere. There was no nothing. They investigated. It was all fake.
So he's just trying to get into the
he wanted to go viral.
Conversation.
He wanted to go viral. It's such a bozo ass shit thing to do, man. Like, honestly, like there's certain, I don't know if you saw this, but like me and this dude China Mac were cool, right? There's this Chinese gangster dude from out here.
I know this one. Yeah, I know this one.
You know what I mean? His first interview he ever did was with me. He got out of prison.
Yeah, I know exactly.
The first ever interview. Me and him became cool and everything else like that. So he decided to prank me this one time when I was on live with him. Like, he wanted me to come in and do an interview while we were streaming. He had a bunch of dudes come in the middle of the interview. They started arguing. One's like, yeah, man, I'm going to get my gun. And I'm sitting there like, there's about to be a shootout in here. Like I had like pepper spray in my pocket. So I'm like, you see me reaching in my pocket. I'm prepared to like possibly spray somebody or something. But I'm like, and I know I'm on stream, so I'm very conscious. I'm like, because this is all being recorded, all about to go live. And it's like, oh, we were just kidding. And I'm like, you don't kid around about guns. Like, you don't.
He said some shit that made everybody mad, too.
You don't do that. And that's why me and him haven't rocked with each other since then. I may actually reach out to him.
But he said some shit that made people mad. I don't know, it was about some black Chinese, Chinese, some shit he said like a while back that made everybody like.
I'm not sure.
He said some shit